Hi everyone, Joshua Hanlon here at Star Wars Celebration 2019, and I'm joined by two LEGO designers, and so they're going to tell us about what they do at LEGO and then this brand new LEGO set that was just announced here at Star Wars Celebration. So if you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll launch into the set.
Yeah, I am Kronvold Frederiksen, Design Director on LEGO Star Wars, so I'm responsible for the product development.
Okay.
And I'm César Soares, and I'm a model designer in the LEGO Star Wars team.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me. And if you want to tell us, what is this new set that we have here?
So this is the Tantive IV. The very first ship you see in the Star Wars universe. And this is the third time we do it in the 20 years of LEGO Star Wars.
And so it's a very iconic ship, as you mentioned. So if you want to talk about then, how'd you decide to do this model here? Because I think this is the third time, like you said, that you've done it. So how'd you decide to re-release this one and do this again?
Well, it's for us almost like an anniversary model because we did it, as mentioned, 2 times before. And last time that was at the 10th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars. And I think it's just, well, we thought it was on time to bring it back because it is one of our favorites at LEGO. Because it is one of the first ships in the story, and it's just super iconic.
For sure. And so what are some of the new features that fans who buy this model can look for, maybe if they're comparing it to the old ones? How has this changed in this current iteration?
So from the very beginning, we tried to make a model that would look good on a shelf as a display piece, but also would have a lot of playability and play features. And furthermore, this model has a lot more detail on the outside and also on the inside. So you can say it's a more complete model in a way.
Actually, the model here is not complete. I can see there's a part missing right there. Sorry.
It's been heavily used as you've shown it off to people and everything, so it's understandable. Things might fall off.
Yes. So the ship has a cockpit with removable pieces. Then you can see it, and so you can fit 2 minifigures inside. And then you have the middle section here with the control room, which is based on the Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, the scene where you have Bail Organa and Yoda and Obi-Wan on the meeting room. So this is based on that one. And then on the back you have this part also where you can store some missiles. And you have 2 escape pods here that are detachable. And you can fit some minifigures inside too. And finally you have a handle, because that was one of the things that we wanted to incorporate in the model from the very beginning, because it's not easy to find an obvious point to grab it. So a handle was a must since the very beginning.
The handle kind of increases the swooshability sort of and the playability of the set.
Yes, absolutely. You can actually pick up the handle and swoosh around in a pretty heavy way because it's very, very sturdy. So I recommend that actually. It's really good.
It's a recommended play feature there.
Yes, absolutely.
So I like how you took off those panels and everything to show the interior. Talk about, as set designers, kind of how you guys balance making a model look good from the outside while also making sure that you can take off some of those panels and have that interior and kind of playability factor to it.
Well, it sometimes means we have to make small compromises, but here with that model here, we think it works really well. There's something with scale, of course, and we're cheating there because we want to make the exterior look as accurate as possible, but we also want to add as many play features as we can. So of course here it's totally out of scale, but there are all the features that we think there should be in the model though.
And another thing that can sometimes have to be sacrificed when you have interiors is kind of the overall structure of the build. So how did you figure that part of it out to make sure that it stays nice and strong and isn't going to fall apart when somebody picks it up?
Yeah, definitely. Sturdiness is one of the biggest points in the Lego sets. In this case, for instance, because we wanted the figures to be able to sit on the conference room, so the whole piece had to be taller, which means that the turret piece here had also to be taller. So this angle, it's a bit steep. So that's the kind of compromise we have to do in favor of playability. It's just one example, but we always try to do both things. So so we try to make it look as close as possible to the source material, and if it has play features, well, even better.
Exactly, and one of the most iconic parts of this ship is the back part, kind of the engine section. So talk about the design process for that section and how you were able to achieve that very iconic look.
Well, definitely putting 11 engines on the back of a ship is not an easy task. So I had to make a very sturdy core made of Technic bricks that goes from one tip to the other, and then I had to find a way to attach all the 11 engines on the back. And funny enough, they're all different. All of the 11 engines are different. They have different shapes or different colors or different mechanical bits. So it was a real big challenge to achieve that. But I think they look really great.
Right. No, I think you certainly did a good job there. I wanted to transition now to the minifigs because there's some really cool new features in the minifigs. So if you can take us through each of those and what some of the new features are.
Yeah, we have some new and unique minifigures there. At the left, you can see Baylock Anna. We have actually never done him before as a minifigure. We have a Rebel Trooper. He's also new and upgraded. And then we have Captain Antilles. We've done him before, but again, new and updated. And then we have Princess Leia, and that's actually quite exciting because she's having this new dress element. And it's been used one time before for Sukus in the Anniversary Slave 1 set. And well, we are super excited that we developed a dress element for who would imagine that a dress element for the minifigure came out of Lego Star Wars, but it actually did. And but in the set here, Princess Leia, she both have trousers or legs, and then the dress. And then of course we have R2-D2 and C-3PO, but they are unchanged.
Right. So, you've been working on Lego Star Wars, I know, for a very long time. How do you decide when to introduce a new minifig into a set or to update a minifig? Kind of what's the back-end decision there in terms of including new parts like that?
But that's something, how do you say? Yeah, of course it's a big discussion which minifigures to include in a set. We're looking back at what was there in the previous model. Has there been any fans that has wished for other figures, or it's a lot of things that are in consideration when doing that. But of course we want to always, if possible, bring something new or something updated in any set that we make.
And then talk a little bit about the printing and kind of decals and any of those kind of features on the set, because you definitely see that adds some really nice details to the overall build here.
Yes, so there's a very close cooperation between model designers and graphic designers, and usually the process goes something like this. So when the model designer have a sketch model that's good enough to represent what we want, so we have a meeting with the graphic designer and we decide which parts of the build would look nicer or better with some decorations or some stickers. And that's exactly what happened here. So once I had a fairly good sketch model, I went to Madison O'Neill, which was the graphic designer, and we sat down and we decided, okay, here I cannot exactly build this out of bricks, so maybe a sticker here would be a good idea. And then we did that for the whole ship, and we ended up using a few stickers and a few decorations.
And it definitely adds some nice detail to it. So I know there's some playability. You showed the handle a little bit earlier. I think there's also some missiles that fire in this as well. Can we show that off?
Yes. So you have the stud shooters on the top here, and the turret is actually, you can rotate it. And then you have spring-loaded missiles underneath the cockpit right there. And you press this little piece here and it fires. So they're very well hidden. And for you to be able to fire them, you have to hold the ship with one hand and fire with the other, but I guess that's okay for kids.
Right, it's a complete play experience then, everything's involved.
Yes, that's a very good point, yes, exactly.
One thing, both of you guys did a really fantastic panel earlier today here at Star Wars Celebration on this set and kind of talking about the design. And one thing I thought was really interesting that you mentioned was how you looked at feedback from the previous Tantive IV set designs for this. So talk about that process in terms of how you take feedback, because I think that's really relevant to Star Wars sets where you re-release models over the years. So talk about that process and kind of how that works.
Well, it is something we can. We have a lot of that information available. So it is really one of the first things we're doing when re-releasing or making a new version of a set. It is to look back and see if there's good things or bad things. And of course, when we are making a new version of something, we always want to improve. We want to make it better than the previous one.
Yeah. So.
And also, it's very often we go back and sometimes we actually build the latest model so you can have a better grasp of what it is. So we do that very often.
Kind of place it within the context of whatever's come before it then.
And then we have to somehow decide if there are anything we want to keep or what we want to improve or make it, in a different way.
Well, that's fantastic. So when will this set be available for fans to buy?
So this will be available on May the 4th. I think there's no early VIP access, but May the 4th is the global launch date.
Well, thank you so much, both of you, for taking us through the new design. It's a really fantastic set, and I appreciate you taking time out of your busy Star Wars Celebration schedule for us here, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.